Today is Tuesday, the 7th of July 2020, and I continue with the video I made about this coal exit of Germany in the year 38. So this is 18 years from now, and I'm quite shocked because this is a very heavy decision, and well, I hated to play teacher for somebody, for anybody, and but this video is dedicated for the younger people, for the kids, especially for those kids who went on this demonstrations Friday for Future. I can say to you, it is not Friday for Future, it's Friday for nonsense, because this is only a theory that the carbon oxides goes up in the sky, in the higher atmosphere, building a greenhouse that the sun first sends the energy to the earth and then can't get out anymore from this greenhouse, and the planet is heating, and we all gonna die, and this evil coal is guilty, and well, it's just a theory. And if you look around, you see maybe that the people in the parks, in the cafes, don't wear any mask anymore. Well, I think they realized that this corona pandemic was a lie. I think the most people realize it now. And could you imagine if there's one lie, that there are maybe also other lies? Could you imagine this? They decided it in a quick manner. First the parliament, and then this council of the countries. You know, we have 16 countries here in Germany, and the ministers of these countries, they have a council, and the law is guilty when both organs decided so. And well, I can remember in the days of my father in the 70s, it took quite longer to make a law. After the parliament decided, there were weeks of discussing if this council of the countries, the Bundesrat, will pass the law. And sometimes there was a majority. You know, there were other forces in this Bundesrat, in this council of countries, and they said, well, you decided it in the parliament, but we say no. And then the law couldn't pass, and it is quite clear that a heavy decision takes several weeks of discussing, and this time they did it both together in one day. So first was the parliament decided exit of coal, and then at the same day the Bundesrat. And this is not normal. This had nothing to do with democracy, because it is also a very heavy decision, and I will explain you why it was such a heavy decision. There's a reason for the theory. The climate change lie was made to switch out the light, if you like. I will explain you that it is not possible to replace coal in our energy mix, how we produce energy. There are many ways, and I show you this statistic. It's from Wikipedia. And well, you see here on the bottom, this is the year 2019. So that means on the right side, this is the actual time that was last year. Well, I just talk a little bit about this whole graphic here, it's quite important. Well, you see, the red one is the nuclear power, and it is declining over the last uh, 30 years. It's quite alright, because it's very dangerous, and if any nuclear power station blows up here in Europe, then we are finished, then it's the end of Europe. It is quite good that Germany goes out, but this doesn't mean that other countries, so you know, France still having a lot of nuclear power stations, and it doesn't matter if this nuclear power station is in Germany or in France. If it blows up, so this will be the end of Europe. And well, but it's good that we go out. And but if you count together the brown coal and the black coal, it's on the bottom, together with nuclear power, it is about 45%. So it's almost a half of our energy mix. And you see on the top, you see this green energies like water power and biomass and windcraft and photovoltaic. The funny thing is our government has shut down the photovoltaic industry in Germany. Well, they said we can't give you any money anymore, so because, well, you know, Chinese products are cheaper, so, and well, this is quite crazy, because if you decide to to exit from coal, how can you just a few years ago ruin your own photovoltaic industry in Germany? It makes no sense. Well, if you want to replace 45% of your energy supplement, you have to discuss how can we replace it. Maybe offshore, windcraft in the North Sea, but they don't discuss this. And let me tell you, it is not possible. There's no better power than coal. Coal has such a high degree of energy inside. No windmill or windcraft or watercraft can replace coal. It is impossible. And what will happen when the energy from the coal is not there anymore? Well, then we have to buy more gas. This is mostly Russia, also the American fracking gas, but this ships with this fracking gas, it is a joke. Well, this small chips can't replace this whole energy from coal. And well, of course, also this oil from mostly from Saudi Arabia and from Iran, so from the Middle East. Well, let me explain you. Um, what is the base of our freedom and our liberty? It is that we have our own resources and that we use them. We have the best coal, black coal, right under our feet. It's in the Ruhr, in the Rhine-Ruhr area, but they shut it down. The black coal you saw in this graphic is all exported from China, from Australia, from all over the world. And they say, well, you know, the market is cheaper, and the German black coal is not competitive anymore, so it's too expensive, so it's cheaper to bring it with ships from other places from the world. But this is all bullshit. Um, you have to be, if you want to be independent, you have to keep um, some of these resources you have right in your country. You know, Germany is weak of own resources, so the black coal is one of the only resources we had, but they shut it down. And there's a reason for this. They want to make us dependent from other countries. What will happen if we can't get any gas anymore because Mr. Putin says maybe, your NATO allies, they're making too many maneuvers right uh, beside our border and we can't give you any gas anymore. So what is when Mr. Putin gives us his finger? What is if Saudi Arabia give another finger? So you see how it is if you are dependent, you can't act sovereign, and how good is the constitution on the paper when you freeze your ass in your apartment, when you don't have heat anymore and you die from a flu because your apartment is cold. Well, I must say this because now they talking about corona and it's so dangerous and all these viruses. But if you can't heat up your room, then you can die from anything. I say this because I have an old father, and he was born 33, and after the war they had very much problems to get coal. Well, the boys, they jumped on a train and throw this coal down, and then the other boys collecting this coal just that they don't freeze in their apartments. Well, one boy fell down, died. Then the judge said, well, the communists sent this boy, the Communist Party did it. Well, that was just the beginning of the Cold War. And I think that many young people can't imagine what it means if you take down your energy supply. That is now, I repeat, coal and nuclear energy together is about 45%, and you can't replace this. What will happen then? It is the end of the society we know today. You need energy to load up your smartphones. I'm sorry to say this, I don't want to harass anybody, but sometimes I think if you take from those kids the smartphones away, they will die maybe in 1 week, or maybe they will kill each other because they are so addicted to the smartphones. So there's no energy to load up your smartphones anymore, and all these schools, the hospitals, the companies, they need energy to produce, and this is it is not replaceable. It is impossible. It is such a high percentage. You can't replace this energy with windmills and with water. That this whole country is already filled up with these windmills. All places for windmills are there are no more places you can build windmills, and they weren't discussing all these problems I'm talking about, and you don't hear it. It was one message on Friday, maybe half a minute, 30 seconds. That's it. They don't want to talk about it, and I will tell you why. The Antichrist built bunkers for the elites so that they think when this goes down here, when this country goes down, we go in our bunkers for some time, waiting till everybody dies, or we kill each other, or the Muslim fighters think, well, now we will take over here. And I must also say, I was on this demonstration, Black Lives Matters, and it was not that the people were so much sorry about George Floyd, but I proved already that this was a fake, it was a hoax, I felt more a mood like now it's our turn and we take over. So this is the mood I felt on this demonstration. And there are forces, they think they will take over. And well, you know, it's Muslim, the extreme Muslims, they don't think that we are equal because we don't honor their God, it's Allah, and it is their right to build up this caliphate for Allah here in the middle of Europe. And if we don't worship their God, they have any right to kill us. I must say this. I don't say that every Muslim is thinking this way. You know, there are so many Turkish people and they don't want to go back in their country because they realize that this is quite a good place to live here, and in a Christian society it is a better place. And to live, there's all efforts, you know, benefits you can think about. The medicine system is good, it's for free. You know, we have a medical insurance here and it costs no money, and it is all the fruits of the Reformation. And many Turkish people, they live here, they honor this, and they wouldn't fight against their neighbors. But, well, I know that there are other forces, and they have secret weapons, places where they hide their weapons, and they are waiting. When the Pope says, now it's your turn, they will follow the order. And I see also in my days here people who wearing suitcases, bringing into houses, and then this scalar wave devices multiplying the Magellans, especially of the old people. And it is it fits all together. So this climate change lie is the preparation for this feeling that we are too much on this world, on this earth, and that they use the young people against the old people, that they think, well, if they die faster, it's maybe better for all of us. So, but it's all a lie. And I warn you, this coal is not replaceable, and they decided it so fast because they don't want that we realize it just when the people get out, celebrating their freedom, lockdown is over, that they are in a good mood, and then in this moment comes this coal exit, but only short mentioned, no discussion, so that the people don't realize what is going on here. It is a declaration of war against my people of Germany, and I think it is time that I will break my silence. When I said in the time of my father, who do you think my father was? He was Chancellor of Germany and his name is Helmut Schmidt. I'm his son, I'm his illegal son, and they gave me birth only for the reason to blackmail my father during the time of his office, when he was in office. After he left the office, there were several attacks on my life, and I survived them all by the help of God. And do you think God saved my life just that I keep quiet and go from earth without defending my people? No way. I will break my silence. I will speak things that I'm not able to bring it on YouTube, and I will put it in a 18 range because I can't allow that the youth, the future of our country, my country, is poisoned by this crap, by this cruelty, that their souls are poisoned by this. But I think it is time that I break my silence, because this is a declaration of war. This, if you have no energy, the half of the energy is gone, then there will be civil war, there will be bloodshed, there will be no jobs anymore, and also the stupid people that killing other people for money, just to have a big car. Well, I have them every day around me when they come with that big car. There will be no cars and no big uh, way of lifestyle. You know, this well, it's judgment time, and I think God will judge them. They will die for sure. I'm quite sure. But I don't say I don't want to kill anybody. No way. I'm a Christ, and but this bunker promise. Well, I think it would be good to find these bunkers and destroy them, because if you want to bring us into this hell, we will die together. I think this is quite a good idea, and maybe we couldn't destroy these bunkers, but I'm quite sure that there are many people. These bunkers already exist. They built it the last 20 years, and there are engineers and construction workers. They were involved in this building, and I would think it would be a nice step to talk about this. You know, there are many bunkers here in this country already, and they think they go in the bunkers. Mrs. Merkel will take plane to Paraguay, private jet, and her neighbor will be George Bush Jr. He has his house right beside Mrs. Merkel in Paraguay. Well, I think you must know this, that this is now wartime, and I think there's no time to lose. And well, it's nice to see the people having fun, making holidays now. Um, Lockdown is over, but maybe there will come a next lockdown in autumn, and the impact of the last lockdown, it will come in 1 year. Um, and we have to think about how we can save our children, because there will be hunger, there will be more poverty. Well, we have to think all about this. You know, it is war, and there's no, you don't have any reason to think that because the lockdown is over now, that you will have a normal life like before. No way. So that's for the moment. See you next video.